Hey, what is up guys? Welcome to a brand new video. My name is Mize. Today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about at least my most anticipated animes for the spring season. Now I know I probably should have released this sometime in March, but I got really distracted and this whole pandemic thing has got me crazy. But better late than better late than never is what I always say. So how about we go really quick through the top 5 animes at least I am most likely going to be focusing on, or going to be reviewing, and going to be watching for the spring season. So number 5 on my list is going to be an anime called BNA, and that is an anime made by Studio Trigger. Now I don't know much about this anime yet. Obviously it's Studio Trigger. I love Studio Trigger. Studio Trigger is probably one of my favorite studios, right next to UFO Table, Madhouse, obviously A1 Pictures, but I consider Studio Trigger to be like A, if not S tier rank when it comes to really good anime studios. And honestly, the way this looks, I love the animation. The story looks like it's going to be a really feel-good story with maybe some obstacles in the main character's way. There's not much, like I said, in terms of actual information that we have. I mean, maybe I could go back and I can go check real quick, but right now, at least for what we know, there's not much that's actually, told about this anime. I think the two biggest things about this anime is, one, it has that all anthropomorphic animal characters, and it seems like the story is revolving around the main character turning into one, that, or the existence. I know I just said that there's not much information. I just looked it up. There was information. There wasn't when I found out about it, but it seems like the anime has to do with like anthropomorphic animals and main character turning into one, and her kind of finding out what exactly happened to her, and the story's just kind of revolving around that. And it still looks like a feel-good story, but obviously more of the anthropomorphic idea is just kind of from the hype that Beastars comes from, where Beastars has been widely praised. I haven't watched it. I'll probably review it either sometime next week or the week after that, but oh my god, Beastars has been getting so much love and so much hype, and I think that a little bit of that is going to translate into BNA. Now, I have no clue if that's the case. Obviously, I haven't seen many people talk about it. I'm probably one of the only people who's putting this on their most anticipated anime list for the spring season, but honestly, I'm really looking forward to this. And the second thing that's really interesting about this show is the fact that it's an original series. It's not based on a light novel. It's not based on a manga. It is Studio Trigger's own original work. So obviously, you don't see many of those. Most anime nowadays are usually based on either a manga or a light novel or some type of adaptation, right? And a lot of animes are usually adaptations of either some other medium or some other source. It's its own original story, so I'm definitely going to be focusing on this one mainly for those 3 reasons. Studio Trigger, just the hype from anthropomorphic animals in anime right now, and the fact that it's original content. It caught my eye, and it's caught my mind even more, and I'm just really super excited for it. The 4th anime I'm really excited to watch this season is an anime called Momo, and it's getting its 2nd season, which is really cool because me and my co-host Bugfang actually reviewed the 1st season of this anime all the way back in like episode 16, 17, or 18 of our anime podcast, and we were talking about how it would be really, really cool to get a 2nd season of this show. Obviously, at least I liked the show. It had some of its faults, but I think it was a pretty good show, and I think it left off really setting up something big. So for us to get a 2nd season of Momo is actually quite exciting. I'm honestly really ready, and it came out a good while ago. I want to say it came out 10 plus years ago, but I'm pretty sure it came out this decade. I don't think it was that long, but seeing the art style back then, it wasn't really as impressive as we have now. So to see it in a newer art style is going to be so kick-ass. I want to see the things they do with the magic spells. I want to see the things they do with some of the combat in the show, because in the 1st season there were some really good things. Imagining how that show could look at in the era of animation that we have now, it gets me legitimately pumped to see it. So second season of Tetsuga Momo is good, and if you're excited for it, if it interests you, I would recommend watching that first season. It is honestly a good anime. Number 3 on my top 5 animes that I want to watch this spring is Tower of God. And Tower of God, along with the second pick on this list, I don't usually watch or read a lot of manga. I'm a big anime watcher, and I don't usually go back to read the manga from the anime that I like. I'm trying to make it more of a habit, but that's not really a big thing. But I have watched some manga. I've watched manga, oh my god. But I have read some manga. I have read, I want to say, a decent amount of manga. So I'm really interested to see how they do it in this. And I've obviously, while this have came out, probably the first 2 or 3 episodes of Tower of God would have already came out by now. And of course, I'm going to be doing that typical review of it, obviously, hopefully later down in the season, just like I have to do with the winter stuff, because winter, which we're probably going to get late in April, but I'm really excited for this. I liked reading it, and it's not even a manga technically. It's technically a webtoon from what I remember. So I'm really interested to see what they really do with this in terms of art style, in terms of translating the webtoon into the anime style. It's going to be a really interesting process to see, and everyone's been hyping this up. I've seen it all over the internet. I've seen it. Crunchyroll's been pushing this really hard. Like, it is a genuinely good read, and if you want to read it, I would recommend it. And I'm not surprised that Crunchyroll and all these other streaming platforms are pushing it as the big anime for this season. So I'm really excited, and I really hope that it turns out good. But I am excited to actually get a chance to sit down and watch it when I have the free time. Number 2 on this list is Gleipnir, which is another anime where I read the manga first. I didn't really seek this one out. My co-host Buckfang works at a bookstore, and he decided to pick this up. He read it. He forced me and our buddy Derek to read it. We were kind of hesitant first because it looked really weird, but reading it is so cool. This is such a cool concept. It's such a cool story, and I was really hoping that this was also going to get an anime adaptation soon. Me and the boys weren't really hopeful just because it didn't have that many issues when we started reading it, but now that I see it, it's so cool that this is getting an anime adaptation, because there is some weird shit in this manga, and there's gonna be some weird shit in this anime. So I want to see how that is going to be translated into an animation format. The only thing with this one, which was a concern that Bugfang had, was that the animation might not do it complete justice, that it just kind of looks like a clean but still like generic version of animation, or at least the typical generic anime animation, which I understand. Gleipnir should have a little more of a horror element to its animation. I know I talked about it before, but I think, Studio Trigger having it would have maybe helped a little bit to give it more of a weird feel. But in my personal opinion, it still looks good. It looks fantastic in my opinion. I think it's going to do well. He has some stipulations, but I think Gleipnir will do just fine. I think it'll look good, it'll be good, and I'm hoping it will be good. But I'm just really excited to see this. This is genuinely has gotten me excited for so long. And obviously, my number 1 for this season is Kaguya-sama Season 2. It would have been Re:Zero Season 2 if Re:Zero didn't get pushed back for obvious reasons. But Kaguya-sama Season 2, that shit last year was so funny and made me laugh. I loved Shiga, I loved Kaguya, I loved the dynamic between the president and the vice president. Everything about that show was fantastic. It's probably one of my favorite comedies that I've watched in anime in a really, really long time. So to get a second season of this and to see the trailers and see everything seems like it's going to be accumulating in this season, like it's only going to be a 2-season anime, and so we might get like the big payoff this season, is going to be interesting, and I'm ready for it, and I'm super excited. That's definitely my favorite anime. I'm going to be paying attention to that one. Gonna be watching it, I'm gonna be loving it, and it's gonna be a fun time. So there you have it. There's my 5 animes that I'm gonna be watching this spring. Going pretty quickly. I want to talk about more, but honestly, there's not really much in this season that I'm truly really excited for. I mean, if I were to throw some honorable mentions out there, probably Kazu Shigoda and Apera Ramune will probably be those 2 that I'm like also excited for, but I still don't like 100% know how I feel towards those animes. It's kind of one of those wait and see. Like, the concepts for both of those sound interesting, they sound fun, but right now I don't really have any interest in really paying attention to that. I will give them a watch, like I'll give everything in the season a watch, but obviously I'm probably going to be focusing on those 5, and then those 2, when I get the chance, I'll probably watch at some point. But of course, let me know what your favorite anime for this spring is. Make sure to go check out my links below, comment, share, do whatever you want to with this video. Just show your support, and I will be seeing all of you in the next video. I love you all. Have a wonderful day, or evening, or night, or wherever you are. Just have a good time.